I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, raised in the South Bronx. I came in about 1961. We grew up on Hoe Avenue in the Bronx. It was hard times, but it was good times too. My life took a turn in 1995. I applied for a life insurance policy. When you want a life insurance policy that large, $100,000, they want to make sure that you don't have a pre-existing condition. So when they said to me, take an HIV test, I was like, me, of course, why not? I'll take a test because I'm not HIV positive. Dear Ms. Davis, we're sorry to inform you that you have the HIV antibody in your bloodstream. Please go and seek help. It's now my great honor on behalf of amfAR to present this award. Please, ladies and gentlemen, stand as I present to you Janet Jackson. You know, I had my battles with MAC, a virus, people that AIDS get, and that also one of the opportunistic infections that take you from HIV to now being diagnosed with AIDS. Now I worry about losing weight. At one time in the beginning of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, you didn't want to lose weight because if you lost weight, people, even though you might not have had HIV or AIDS, the first thing people said is, oh, they have AIDS. Because that's how the pandemic was at the time. They kept saying people with pre-existing conditions like diabetes, heart disease, but nobody ever talked about how it affected people with HIV. So I sat back for 1 month, 2 months, and I was like, nobody's talking about HIV. And so I started these Zoom series where I would do HIV and COVID, HIV, COVID, and breast cancer, you know, to also bring in some of the other health disparities that come along with HIV and AIDS. People weren't going to their doctor's appointments because they were scared that when they stepped into the hospital, they would then become a candidate for COVID. We slowly went into the shutdown, and I kept hearing people say, I don't want to be tested. I said, wow, that sounds the same thing as HIV. I don't want to get tested for COVID because they put a long thing up your nose and after dang near go up into your brain, so I don't want to get tested. And at one time, we were saying, I don't want to get tested. And then the funny part was when people were going around, they said they died. And the first thing people said, what did they die of, COVID? I was like, wow, that is so deep, because that was the same thing in the AIDS epidemic. People was like, so what did they die of? Did they die of AIDS? African Americans do not want to take a vaccine for COVID. So there has to be another conversation happening that specifically targets the African American community that has had so much distrust in the medical world. HIV is not in a vacuum. AIDS is not in a vacuum. It's connected to so many other different things. If you don't have housing, you're not thinking about wearing a condom. If you don't have anything to eat, you're thinking about possibly having sex with somebody so you could pay your rent and you can eat. And it might be dangerous sex, but this is what you have to do. It's called survival. So to me, until we address the whole package, we will never get to the end of HIV and AIDS. I pray that there is a cure. It might not be in my time, but the biggest cure is people learning to love themselves. That it starts from you, that you're not looking in other places for people, for validation from other people on who you are and how you love and how you live. That was one of the reasons I tell people the contributing factor of me getting diagnosed with HIV, me contracting HIV, is because I was looking for love in other places. I didn't know that it started in me. That's what made me who I am, and the strength of who I am in God. You know, my faith is very powerful, and you know that I've been able to live with AIDS for going into 22 years now.
There are many different challenges out here. And if you're an African American, especially a youth, LGBTQ, we have a lot of young people that are homeless. But to know that there's a lot of love and support out here, and you just have to seek it, you know, not to put your own life at risk because you are worthy. Your life is important. Each and every one of our lives are important, but especially our young people. Your life is important. We love you. We want to help you. We want to nurture you. We want to take care of you. But the one thing I do want to say is that we want you to take care of yourself. Know that there's evil lurking around every corner. Know that when you're young, you're vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. But when you're young, you even have more vulnerability because people feel that they can take advantage of you. So get tested, find a good organization if you are homeless that you can go to who will give you a lot of support. And just know that your life means a lot. You mean a lot. The journey gets very hard sometimes, but I say faith, prayer, and works are what work together.